So you've lost your job. Or maybe you're still working, but your job is at risk. You might want to prepare for redundancies considering it's 2020. I know what it's like as I experienced it before. And so I would like to share some tips with you, mainly what to expect and how to go about your potential next steps. Losing your job is usually a very stressful situation. I hope you will find these tips helpful. And if you do, smash the like button. Without further ado, let's get started. Redundancy. What is redundancy? Your employer or HR manager will make sure you are aware that redundancy has nothing to do with your work ethics, neither it has anything to do with you as a person. When your employer has to make decisions about redundancies, it is usually because of lack of sufficient profits in the business, which makes it difficult to keep everyone on the payroll. Regardless of the reasons for redundancy, it is still hard not to take it personally, especially if you spend many years working for the same company. Maybe you've had plans to progress your career with them and even retire without changing the employer. Suddenly, it seems like all that you've been working so hard for is taken away from you, and you might feel less confident about your future. What happens next? So, you've been made redundant and you wake up in the morning jobless. You've got all these bills to pay, and you are sure it will hit you financially unless you find a new job within a week or so. Let me mention here that it is extremely important to prepare in advance for occasions of financial emergencies, like in this case, losing your job. I am talking about emergency fund. According to statistics from all around the world, majority of people are not prepared to pay a bill of $1,000 or its equivalent in case of a car breakdown or other emergency expense. If you are one of these people, then remember that it is a year of 2020. Millions of jobs were lost already, and more jobs will be lost still. I'm not trying to scare you here, but if you're still getting money from your job, if you're still working, a minimum of 20% of your monthly income should be going to your emergency fund today. Like I said, 20% is the absolute minimum, and if you can save 50% of your income. Now, I know it's very hard to save so much money in a month, but if you really push yourself and don't spend money on anything else than to cover your basic needs, then maybe you might be able to do it. And in the next 3 months, you will have 1.5 months worth of income saved up in case of redundancy or sickness. With this 1.5 months of income saved up in your account, you should be able to cover 2 months of your spendings, taking into account the fact that you've managed to survive on half of your monthly income for the 3 months it took you to save this amount. Alright, let's leave the emergency fund topic. It happened. You've been made redundant. You've lost your job. The first thing that you will probably experience when you wake up in the morning, knowing that you no longer have a job, is a range of different feelings. Some of you may actually feel happy if you don't like your job, for example, but you will most likely feel fearful about your future. You might also feel drained from all the stress that you had been experiencing for the past month or however long the redundancy process lasted at your workplace. So if you do feel tired, scared, or frustrated, know that you're not alone. There are millions of people that already lost their jobs in 2020 and they will survive. Some already found new jobs or started successful businesses. You will be fine and you will look back at this experience one day thinking, I'm actually glad that it happened because it led me to this and that. Bear in mind that it is not the end of the world. It can only get better from now on. It is an opportunity to re-evaluate what is important, what you really want to do in your life or career. Think about the situation as an opportunity to change and adjust your life in the way that you want it to be. The first thing to do right now is to pick up a notebook and write a plan. Plan your next steps like writing your CV, updating your LinkedIn profile, etc. Now that you have a plan of your next moves on a sheet of paper, check your finances and calculate how much time you have to make all your moves and start earning an income again. Let's say you have 3 months worth of savings. You have 3 months to find a job. The more time you have, the more peaceful your mind will be. All you need to do now is to follow each step of your plan. What happens if you don't have enough money to keep you going for 3 months? Let's say that after your calculations, you find that you need to find a job or start earning money within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Well, first things first, do not panic. You will make mistakes if you base your decisions on fear. Now, I know it's easy to say, it is harder to do or not to do in this case. If you don't have much time and you need to find a job fast, look at your plan and realize that all of these steps that you wrote down must be done fast. You need to take an immediate action. Go out there. Look for any job to cover your expenses. I mean, any job available to keep you going. Remember, it is not forever and you can still look for different job later on. But now, at this point, it's all about survival. Start talking to your friends, family, neighbors, ex-colleagues, and ask them if they know anyone that is hiring right now. In addition to looking for job offers online, you may need to physically go to the businesses around you. Bars, shops, restaurants. Time is the most valuable thing right now. Go out there and use every minute of it to make sure you can pay your bills. Another thing to remember to do is to get all the support you can get from your local government. Benefits like job seeker allowance and other might be available to you to help you through this hard financial time. Regardless if you have 2 weeks of savings or 3 months worth of savings, you still have to go to job interviews. Now, one of the advantages of having more time to look for a job is that you are less desperate. This means you will behave differently during your job interviews. You will most likely be a bit more calm and appear more confident. So this will help you to get the job easier. Don't let fear dictate how you behave on the job interview. Most of human communication is non-verbal, and when we feel the feelings of stress, anxiety, or fear, it will come up in our behavior as lack of confidence. So on your CV, you've listed all the positive soft skills that you have, like leadership, effective communication, or teamwork, but you present yourself as desperate and not confident, then the interviewer might have a hard time believing you actually do have these skills. Remember, if you are called for a job interview, it means they read your CV and they decided that you have the experience, knowledge, and skills required for this particular job. All you need to do now is to go to an interview and confirm to them that you really are the person they are looking for. Interviews can be stressful, especially if you haven't done them in a while. You will want to be as calm as possible during a job interview. My tip on that is to prepare way before the interview by practicing daily meditation. Meditate for at least 10 minutes every day. 10 minutes is not a long time, but in the beginning, you might find it feels like eternity. It will get better with time if you do it consistently. When you meditate, your mind becomes calmer and your thoughts slowly become more organized. Meditation practice makes dealing with stressful situations easier. Trust me, you will reap the benefits of daily meditations during your job interviews. Another important point to make here is that when you look for jobs, you most probably will face rejections. Do not take them personally. Don't get discouraged. There are so many great people in the history of the world that experienced rejections many times before succeeding and becoming great in their fields. Rejection is part of the process of looking for jobs. Finally, my last tip: communicate. Reach out to people. Surround yourself with friends and family, people who succeed. Reach out to others in times of hardships. Do not suffer alone. You have bigger chances of success if you surround yourself with people. That's it. If you find this video helpful, smash the like button so YouTube can show it to more people who might find it useful. If you want to see more videos like this one, subscribe. Thank you and good luck.